Meanwhile, we want to try and keep up a good supply of barrels. Actually, no, that's not what we want. Because what we want to do is start doing something I've never really done in Dwarf Fortress, but I know from a fact that Xephos loves cheese. So we're going to go ahead and build a cheesemaker's workshop. Well, specifically, we're going to be building a farmer's workshop, but we can make cheese out of that. Meanwhile, I think so that we've got that over here. So we've got some milk creatures, and then we're also going to make cheese over here. So let's go ahead and cancel that task, and then we're going to make some cheese. And hopefully we can get someone to set that up. The brewer LividCoffee couldn't find unrottable, cookable, solid items. So LividCoffee has gone through and prepared all our food into meals, which should improve the lot of everybody. In the meantime, for year one, we also have a couple of little things we'd like to do. Specifically, we're going to make little offices for 2 people. We need a broker, or rather we need a broker and a bookkeeper. So we're going to give them little rooms right off over here. We can also give one just right off over here. And then set those up. And because we'll need to start actually tracking things a little bit more carefully. Interestingly, I still don't see anybody just taking down that darn wagon. It's kind of frustrating, actually. I know that the carpenters had time to do it. He's just refused to. So, I mean, come on. Come on and do it. There we go. Now, we probably should be able to build our little wall. As you can see, we have a lot of gabbro blocks, more than we would have had before. And so let's just go ahead and keep making these walls, and we'll just have a nice little area over here. I'm using the box select plugin, by the way, which really is most excellent. Now, I think that we'll have a little choke point by this corner here. Yeah, that should be good. So let's go ahead and make that out of gabbro walls, and then finally we'll wall off just right here as well and make that out of blocks. So that's one way that you can, we can go ahead and get that done is by basically getting the mason to do a lot of work there, because now we've got an awful lot of blocks. We should have enough for now, so let's just go ahead and cancel all but one of those. We should find that that's pretty effective. And now we just need to get people on the masonry. Meanwhile, it would appear that we've got our office set up properly. So yeah, no big deal. Let's hope that they start to build those brick walls. In the meantime, let's build the first thing. Actually, this should be pretty fun. We're going to build a furniture workshop in this little room over here. Well, yeah, let's build it in here. So this is actually kind of a nice setup. We can go ahead and grab 2 blocks to set that up. It's something that just makes life a lot easier if you're building, a lot of furniture all at once. And we will be soon. So we might as well get ourselves all set up on that, because otherwise, what's the point? We might as well also build a mechanics workshop as well. Because we need to start actually caring about our defense, and Duncan's getting a little bit antsy. I can tell from over here. He's not really satisfied with how things are going right now. So as you can see, I think is that Duncan right there? Yeah, Duncan is immediately leaping on the opportunity to go ahead and put down a workshop, because, let's face it. We're waiting on someone to come down with architecture to finish that up. I think that somebody has architecture. Yeah, it turns out that we could also give that to Xephos because, he loves to build stuff and it almost never looks good. So that sounds about right for Dwarf Fortress. And there we go. Xephos is now putting together the furniture workshop. Now, the furniture workshop will actually allow us to do a bunch of really great stuff. We can make a wooden bedroom set, which is exactly what we need. Or a wooden office set, which is similarly what we need. We need 2 offices, so we're going to add 2 office sets. Now, what that means is that a really, basically that automates the entire process of building all of this junk. So instead of having to wait for a while and have individually order everything from the carpenter's blocks, this allows us to do it without that, and it's really, really useful in that fashion. It also allows us to make things with planks, which is a little bit different, and that's means that we get much more efficient. Every log is 3 planks, just a little bit more time. It is really helpful. We're going to go ahead and make some rock mechanisms. We're going to add and make several of those. Hopefully Duncan will get on that. And we should be making pretty good progress here. We also obviously need doors and whatnot, but no big deal. This is a pretty effective thing. Ah, there we go. We're just going ahead and getting all the logs that we need in there. Now, hopefully someone's going to come along, a mason somewhere is going to come along and start building that wall. I may actually enable a few more people to be masons since we're not digging right now. I guess LividCoffee can maybe do it, or you know what, Honeydew. Honeydew, you can get on the masonry. Come on, help out, buddy. Besides, you love building terrible-looking things. There we go. Now we've got some people. Is Honeydew? Oh no, looks like Duncan is making things. Oh look, some migrants have arrived. Who do we got? 2, 3. It would appear that someone brought their badger dog pup. It would also appear that we brought a lumberjack, a farm worker, and a miner. Wow. An uncommonly skilled group of people. And then, wow, look at all these people. There's a farm worker, another badger dog, a dew beetle, and a cheesemaker. Well, that's awesome. We were just getting started on making cheese. That's fantastic. Tell you what, make some cheese. Milk a bunch of creatures. 2, 3, 4. And then I want you to shear and harvest a bunch of creatures. And then I want you to make cheese on repeat. Do it. An office set has been finished in the furniture shop. So we should have a table, a chair, and a cabinet. Actually, I'm not sure what that makes entirely. Did it make a bed? No, it just made a chair and a cabinet. Did it make a shelf? Ah, it makes a chair, table, and door. Perfect. Well, they're sleeping in the dormitory, so, you know, they can make do. We should have another one coming together really quick. And, yeah, that actually greatly simplifies things. I love that. Meanwhile, we've got an awful lot of mechanisms being put together, so what we should start doing is thinking about making some traps. Specifically, this long corridor here, right around here. Now let me go ahead and modify. I realize that stone sense is not helping us out here. There. That's a little bit better. This area over here, this long snaking corridor, we're going to fill up with traps. Specifically, we're going to start with some stonefall traps because those are really useful. And those are also very easy to make. So we can just go ahead and put a few right there. We have mechanisms, and so we only need a few. And this will basically make it very difficult for anything but thieves to get in. And that's a solid move for us early on, let's face it. And I'm sure Duncan can't wait to go ahead and set up some simple deadfall traps. That will sort of address things. As we can see up there, our wall is starting to come together. And we can go ahead and build a bridge as well, I think. So let's go ahead and build a bridge. And we'll make sure that it raises to the north and put it down right there. And we'll make it out of smooth wooden planks because that's a much more efficient way to use things. Yeah, now I am a little bit worried about all of our stuff down here. I mean, we're going to need to figure out a way to protect all this. What we want to do is try and make a plot on the limited dirt we have, and we'll get some plump helmets down, I think. It would be better if we had more room for this, but we're just going to have to make do with what we got. And then similarly, we'll do this. Hopefully that'll be enough. Oh, and another office set is done. So let's pop back up and build a door. A table and a chair. We did be not. Oh yeah, the chair probably hasn't been pulled out yet. There we go. And now we have 2 offices. We're gonna see if we can make some nobles to help us with stuff. Specifically, what we can do is make a bookkeeper and a manager. And we need a bookkeeper pretty badly. Let's see who has good skills. So we have someone who'd be a good bookkeeper with adequate record keeper, and no one else even comes close. Nil, guess what? You're it. Nil requires a office. Perfect. How about for our manager, who has good skills? It looks like Nil might actually be really good as a manager as well. So let's go ahead and make Nil the manager. Looks like we have 2 offices, but by happenstance, just the way things are, we only need 1. So we'll save that one for later. We'll make this and we'll assign it to Nil. Now, of course, given this we have 2 of these rooms, we're going to have to give one to the expedition leader, Honeydew, because, well, I mean, he's kind of demanding it. I don't know if you've talked to him recently, but he is a tough guy to deal with sometimes. Now, I hope that we're doing okay. Let's next get our miners back in, and we're going to remove all these upward stairs and ramps. We want to make sure that this area is nice and secure, and the first way to go about doing that is just to make sure there's no easy way to climb over and then down, right? And so we're going to do a similar thing over here. Now, it is the case that someone's going to be able to just kind of like run over the top of our walls, but I think that for now, this is a good start. We'll deal with that problem of them running over the top of our walls pretty fast. It's not that big a deal. It's not the end of the world. Now I realized that we actually haven't built a distillery yet, or rather we could also build a brewery, but we're going to start with the distillery because it is a little bit easier to work with. There is a better one, but we're going to go ahead and make this out of planks, I guess, because we can make it out of planks, and so we should. Are those little, like, bugs or something? What are those in the middle of our thing? Oh, no, these are dew beetles that are just... I guess they're just doing what they want to do. They're trying to make their way inside. I mean, okay. Meanwhile, what we're going to need is a craft dwarf's workshop to start building all these useful things. Like, you know, and we also want to have some stuff ready for trade. Autumn's coming. Autumn is coming. So... everybody needs to be ready for that. I think... what else could we be working on, though? Is there anything fun? I mean, we could start to maybe produce some copper, maybe. Let's make this out of wooden planks. So we'll get that all together. Let's split a few logs. Split logs, clean up... split log into timber planks, log into timber planks, log into timber planks. Let's keep getting those coming. Suitable for workshops. And looks like our wall is coming together quite nicely. And look at that, we've got a miner. Who's this? Who's doing great? This is not Honeydew. Toth, one of our new miners, is just tearing through and doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, look at that, Toth. You're fantastic. Oh, we should probably designate removing some of these ramps as well over here. It's not good if they can just walk up over the edge here, right? So let's make sure to add those. We've got our really, really sad looking setup down here. So what do we plant? Our first plot, what do we always plant? Plump helmets. What about in the summer? Plump helmets. What about in the autumn? Plump helmets. What about in the winter? Plump helmets. What about over here? Now, this is a little trickier. We're going to make, I think, cave wheat? Yeah, I think that's the smartest. We're going to make cave wheat basically all year round, which is something that the underground crops do. Now, there's a little bit of a challenge here in that it's going to take 4 seasons for this stuff to come up. But we may be able to do better than that. If we're careful. Now, for this last one, I think we can make quarry bushes, which is good when we do quarry bushes and dimple cups, because those are useful. Now, we could be growing trees too, which also takes a full year, but that's not what we're ready for just yet. Now, it occurs to me that we actually may be able to solve all of our farming problems in one go. Let's see if we can go like this. Designates a nice big area right here, and let's open up a little thing right there. Now what we're going to do, actually, see that pond there? I think we're going to drain it. I think that's the right way to do this. Because that should give us access to basically all the dirt we need. Now I'll have to see how much dirt is actually down here. If there's a lot of dirt, wow, we got 3 miners. Look at how fast they just go through things. If we have a lot of dirt and clay down here, then it shouldn't be too much of a problem for us. But if not, well, then it's going to be more of a challenge. Now, we'd like to keep building mechanisms. So, you know, Duncan, you're not off the hook yet. And we'd also probably like to think about, well, you know, we want to try and make some other stuff. I think we can do some nest boxes. I think that's probably a good call for us right now, because we need nest boxes. We need them for a bunch of our stuff, actually. We've got underground cave hens and a bunch of things. So we're doing pretty well here. We also should build a lever right here to raise and lower our outer defense gate. We'll use some of those mechanisms. Come on, Duncan, get with it. We aren't paying you to stand around. We're not paying you, period, actually.